with United's opening goal. And then, just a couple of minutes after half-time, the vital second goal. David Beckham provided the cross for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer to finish. A short time ago, Paul Scholes made it 3-0 to ensure that Manchester United's European ambitions are back on track. Paul Newman, BBC News, Old Trafford.
And the main news tonight, Gerry Adams has protested to the British and Irish governments after he said his car was bugged during one of the most sensitive parts of the recent peace talks. And there's still no news tonight from the French government, who've been expected to make an announcement around 8 o'clock on whether they will lift the ban on British beef exports. That's the latest from the BBC Newsroom this evening. Good night.
And the main stories in the South East. Good evening. The Home Office has handed police in East London £750,000 to fight drug crime, and for the first time to oversee how drug addicts are dealt with too. Officers in Dalston have already swooped this week on a number of people alleged to be dealing in crack cocaine.
This was the surprise that alleged crack cocaine dealers got in Dalston yesterday afternoon. The swoop, involving dozens of officers, was aimed at a Jamaican drugs posse which had concentrated its business around a betting office. Most observers judged the raid a success.
We're here to make sure that the police are doing their job and getting rid of the drugs problem, to give our children the opportunity to flourish, giving them a fair chance.
Pre-planning and preparation for these raids is hugely costly, and no one battling against drugs believes heavy policing is the only answer. Continued high-profile policing today can't be sustained everywhere, and police know dealers will simply relocate. If we think of big raids and law enforcement as the stick to get to grips with drug dealers, the carrot has to be the drug treatment services. In this project, it's the police who are coordinating those too. If the Home Office finds it cuts crack addiction and crime levels, it'll be copied elsewhere. Penny Root, Newsroom South East in East London.
A man acquitted 6 years ago of murdering a prostitute has been found guilty of a carbon copy crime. David Smith, who's 43 and from Hampton in southwest London, was sentenced to the Old Bailey to life. The mutilated body of 21-year-old Amanda Walker was found in a shallow grave at the Royal Horticultural Society Gardens in Wisley last April. Police say they may now interview Smith about other unsolved attacks on women around the country. A man is still unaccounted for tonight after a blaze and several explosions at a warehouse near Harlow. At one stage, with gas canisters exploding, 4 tankers filled with diesel were engulfed in flames. A search of the premises has so far revealed nothing. Essex Fire and Rescue are treating the incident in Nazing as suspicious. A fire officer had to be cut free from a crashed fire engine today and is still receiving treatment this evening. The truck collided with a car and overturned on the Harrow Road near Paddington. Another firefighter was injured. The car's driver was slightly hurt in the accident.
He obviously got out first. It was easier to get him out, and we just sat him in the back of one of the fire engines, and we just sort of comforted him, make sure that he was okay, kept warm until an ambulance came to give him further medical attention.
Police in Kent are still advising motorists to avoid the area around the Channel Tunnel. A controlled explosion has been carried out in Folkestone on an abandoned car. The tunnel is now open again, but traffic is heavy. We're back tomorrow in Breakfast News with regular travel and weather updates. There's more on CFAX page 160. For now, from all of us here, very good night.
Hello there, good evening. We've had some pretty nasty weather today as low pressure's pushed its way in from the Atlantic. A lovely curl of cloud there, but we did have some gale force winds and also some heavy rain as well. The main frontal rain, they did clear from the southeast fairly quickly this evening. It's left most of England and Wales with clear skies, particularly at the moment, but you can see that the wraparound of cloud is still bringing plenty of showers back in now across the province and into much of Scotland, and some of this wet weather here could well turn increasingly to snow, I think, through the night in the Scottish mountains. Now, it's south of the low centre where it's got some of the most gusty winds at the moment, gusts to 60 to 70 miles an hour already, so we keep that severe weather warning in force then through much of this evening and through tonight. The worst of it then for Northern Ireland, and then extending into central and southern Scotland and much of northern England. And we're talking about damaging gusts to 75 miles an hour. But things will ease. Eventually, as our low pulls away through tonight, things will get better. The wind's gradually easing down, and then they'll swing rather more to the north through the second half of tomorrow. So colder air pulling in. Quite a feature of the weather actually in the north as we head away through the weekend. But to start the day tomorrow, not bad across southeast England and East Anglia. There'll be some morning sunshine, but from the word go, there'll be showers across these more western areas, still fairly blustery winds as well. And it looks as though through the day we'll see some rather cloudy weather, more prolonged showers tending to push their way south across northern England into Northern Ireland, eventually into North Wales as well. And then we'll see some sleet and snow down at low levels in the north of Scotland by the end of the day as that cold air cuts in. Temperatures at best there around 5 or 6. And temperatures otherwise around 9 or 10 degrees, getting up to 50 Fahrenheit or so. Then for Friday, well, a little ridge of high pressure just topples its way in. So some showers to start with, particularly in eastern areas, but those should tend to die away, and we'll see quite a spell of sunshine, I think, for the end of the week before we start to see some changes in the southwest later. And then it does look as though we could see some pretty nasty weather, some wet weather on Saturday from that low, and this little fellow could be quite a vicious feature, one to watch this weekend. Bye-bye.
Before we continue our series, The Finest Hour here on BBC One, here's an update of tonight's National Lottery draw. The 6 winning numbers have been confirmed as 7, 10, 11, 26, 31, 33, and the bonus number tonight is 39. Early indications show there are no jackpot winners tonight.
I love clowning. I do love clowning.
The idea of bringing dance to an audience through humour was my draw.
Omnibus follows Jennifer Saunders as she tours the world of dance in the search for a new comic character.
Pow, pow! I just love a funny wig and a bit of padding and really silly stuff.
Jennifer Saunders at the Bar, Monday 10:40, BBC One. Omnibus reviews the arts, reveals the person.
Marking the millennium now on BBC One as the darkest days of 1940 unfold, the nation rallies to help the children survive. Finest Hour continues.